Hey, do you ever play in the key of E flat? E flat is pretty cool. My buddy Trevor writes a lot of songs in E flat, or to him that's a normal key, which I think is really unique. But I've learned to really appreciate it, and I write a few songs in the key of E flat now and then, just to see if I can. But it gets you kind of out of your comfort zone. So there's a few basic chords we could look at. When I think of E flat, the first one I would do is this bar chord here at the 6th fret. That's the root. So when I need to know something like E flat, first thing I think of is the root, and then make a shape on it. That chord is really common. That's your index and ring. This is an A-shaped chord. So here's A, B, C, D, E flat. See the A shape? Your ring finger has to do kind of a ski ramp thing. It's curved, not flat. Because then you get E flat 6. Hear that? You don't want that note at the 8th fret. You want it at the 6th fret. So that's why you got to curve that finger back, which is pretty uncomfortable. Until you get used to it, then it's no problem. So it's got kind of a fresh sound. We're used to, E, A, D, G, C, but E flat is a new thing for some of us. You could also jump over to this E flat, which is a C shape. Pinky's on the root. So again, root. It's just like a C, C, D, E flat, which actually works without the index if you hit just the 4 middle strings. You don't want the 2 outer strings because those are E notes and they will really clash with the E flats. I'm going to try to not do that right now, but the open G is part of the chord. There's a G right there. You could get this big G down here. That's pretty cool. You could also bar it and get that big fat G, which is a 3rd interval. The 3rd is always cool to check out. So that's barring across 6 strings. That's one way to... But that's a good one. This is pretty cool. Or let the G string be open, avoiding the 2 outer strings. This is cool down here. Check it out. That's B flat, E flat, G, and we have to avoid any open string there like crazy, except the G string. Yeah, the 6th, 2nd, and 1st strings are gonna really bark at you. You can try them, but I'm gonna avoid them. It's funny when I'm teaching a lesson, I'll tell somebody, make sure not to hit a certain string, and they always clobber it. Like, okay, all right. I gotta laugh, otherwise I'd cry. Oh boy. So E flat, E flat, E flat. Up here, that's your classic rock and roll bar chord, E-shaped, bass at the 11th fret because the root's on the 11th fret, 6th string. And you just got to know that quick. 1, 2, ready, go. Boom, boom, boom. That E flat is down here on the 1st fret, 4th string. So knowing those 3 E flats helps us. Here's another way to do an E flat chord. We'll do a scale in a second. But the chords are really, really important. I used to see diagrams in like antique guitar books, and they would show fingering like that. I thought, that looks crazy, but that kind of the big distance between index and middle here. So that's a D shape here, using middle ring pinky, and the index is on the root. Yikes. And there's one here if you are a glutton for punishment. But it's pretty nice sounding. That's shaped like a G chord here with a bar. That's like a 11, 10, 8, 8, 8, 11. So get good at shifting through those. Let's do a scale. How about something like this? That sounds pretty civilized. And then you can extend it down to the lowest note on your instrument that you can find that's in that scale. So that would be E flat, D. And it's kind of fun to sing those lower notes like E flat, D, C, B flat, A flat, G, F. And there's no low E flat on a standard tuned guitar unless you want to get your tuning peg and drop it down, but I don't want to do that right now. That's just our limitation. It's okay to just go down to the F. You know, don't freak out if it doesn't resolve. One little trick I'll do with a student is like, okay, let's learn a scale. Here we go. First note, second note, third note, fourth note. Wait. They always want to jump ahead. Fifth note. I'm a control freak. Fifth note, sixth note. Now, don't go ahead until I tell you. Seventh note, go for it. Now don't finish it. Just stay there. And then they always go, like, I told you not to finish it. Because that note does. I don't yell at them that much, but it does want to resolve. And I want them to experience that tension without just going, what's next? Like, no, go slow and listen, because this is your root, second, third, fourth, half step right there. Fifth, sixth, seventh, and you could end there and do a chord. You could end on a third. There's a seventh, sixth. What's that? Third. A fourth kind of leaves you hanging. Fourth wants to resolve to a third. And third might resolve to a root. So if you let them hang a little bit, you might understand how the scale works. Ooh, another E flat chord I just thought of. It's fun to kind of mix chords and scale together. You know, they relate. You know, if you think of them as separate things, well, we're going to do scales today and chords tomorrow. I think they're intertwined. That looks just like an E chord, only it's 6, 6, 5. You could add the G string. Ooh, that's cool. So we can definitely discover new things. So running up and down that scale. And you can get into your next octave. Had to think about it. So I like to explore the highest note of a key or scale. Ooh, that's cool. What's that? A D. A D is the 7th degree of an E flat scale. I never thought of that before. Wow. So the lowest note in the key of E flat on a guitar, not bent, is the 22nd fret. If you've got a Gibson, the lowest note is an F. So you've got it surrounded. You just start low and work your way high, or work your way high to low and master everything in the middle. That's for you to figure out. I can show you if you want, but really, if you engage your ear and teach yourself, you'll be really learning. I think. And it, kind of